Right now, there are sedans sitting on Facebook Marketplace and used car lots across this country for under $5,000. With engineering so thorough, so deliberate, and so overbuilt that Toyota's own engineers would have a hard time defending the price gap. These are not high-mileage gambles. These are not brand names that fell apart after 80,000 miles. These are sedans the market completely forgot about, and the only people buying them are the ones who actually understand what is under the hood. Let's get into it. Number 3. The 2006 to 2011 Honda Accord with the 3.5-liter V6. Ask someone to name the most reliable sedan under $5,000, and 9 times out of 10 they will say Toyota Camry. The Camry is a fine vehicle, nobody disputes that. But the 6th generation Accord V6 from this era is sitting right next to it on those same lots for $1,000 to $2,000 less. And it will run just as long, costs less to fix, and drives in a way that makes the Camry feel like a bar of soap on a wet counter. This is the Honda that enthusiasts and mechanics both agree on, which almost never happens. The 3.5-liter J35A J-Series 5.6 in this generation. Accord produces 268 horsepower and 248 pound-feet of torque. It is naturally aspirated, no turbos to fail, no superchargers to service. It uses a timing chain instead of a belt, so there is no $800 service looming at 100,000 miles. The chain is designed to outlast the engine. Honda paired it with either a 6-speed manual or a 5-speed automatic, and both are proven units documented going 250,000 miles and beyond with proper maintenance. The J-Series 5.6 is the same engine family Honda used in the Pilot, the Odyssey, and the Ridgeline. It is not some experimental sedan-only powertrain. It is a truck engine dropped into a car, which is exactly why it lasts as long as it does. RepairPal gives the Honda Accord a reliability rating of 4.5 out of 5, ranking it 2nd out of 24 midsize cars. Average annual repair costs come in at $400, below the midsize class average of $526 and well below the all-vehicle average of $652. The probability of a severe repair is just 10%, compared to 12% for the midsize class. A 2008 or 2009 Accord EXL V6 with 120,000 to 140,000 miles is selling right now in the $4,000 to $5,000 range. A comparable Camry V6 with similar miles asks $5,500 to $7,000 and gives you less power, a less engaging driving experience, and no engineering advantage to justify that premium. You are paying the Toyota badge tax and getting nothing mechanical in return. The XL interior is genuinely impressive at this price. Heated leather seats, power moonroof, dual zone climate control, and a dashboard that does not rattle or creak at 150,000 miles. The build quality Honda used in this generation was a high watermark for the brand. 2 things to check before you buy. First, verify the transmission fluid has been changed. The 5-speed automatic is durable but sensitive to fluid neglect. Dark brown fluid that smells burnt means the previous owner skipped this service, and that is the one thing that shortens an otherwise excellent drivetrain. A fluid change runs about $150 and should be done immediately if records do not confirm it. Second, check for oil consumption. Some J35 engines at higher mileages use a quart every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. This is not a defect. It is a known characteristic, not a sign of internal damage. It means you check the oil monthly and top it off. That is the full cost of entry. Also inspect the rear subframe on vehicles from northern states, where road salt over many winters can attack the subframe mounting points. Who should buy this? Anyone who wants a V6 sedan with genuine driving dynamics, Honda engineering, and pricing under $5,000. Anyone tired of paying the Toyota premium for no mechanical reason. And anyone smart enough to know that the best value in the used car market is usually the vehicle that loses on name recognition alone. Number 2. The 2006 to 2013 Lexus IS 250. This is the one that stops people cold when I tell them the price. A Lexus, under $5,000. With leather seats, a sport-tuned suspension, and a 2.5-liter V6. that shares its lineage with one of the most respected engine families Toyota has ever built. It is real, and it is sitting on used lots right now, while buyers walk past it to look at Camrys with cloth seats. The IS250 launched in 2006 as a direct competitor to the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. The original manufacturer's suggested retail price started at $31,825. Today, a 2008 IS250 with 100,000 to 130,000 miles sells in the $4,000 to $5,500 range. That is $27,000 in depreciation on a vehicle that Lexus built to outlast the warranty by a factor of 3. The engine is the Ford GR-FSE 2.5-liter V6, producing 204 horsepower. It uses a D4S dual injection system that combines both direct and port injection, a more sophisticated approach than most competitors used in the same era. The engine is chain-driven, naturally aspirated, and has been documented going well past 200,000 miles with nothing beyond scheduled maintenance. RepairPal gives the Lexus IS a reliability rating of 4.5 out of 5, ranking it 3rd out of 31 luxury compact cars. Average annual repair costs are $487, dramatically lower than the $903 average for the luxury compact segment. That gap is not a rounding error. That is $416 a year you keep in your pocket compared to what Iowa S250 competitors cost to maintain. The probability of a major repair is just 7% versus 14% for the segment average. The interior proves this is not a budget car that happened to depreciate. Soft leather, aluminum trim, a sport steering wheel, and a cabin that is quieter and more precisely assembled than anything else you will find for under $5,000. The driving dynamics are in a different league entirely. The IS250 corners flat, the steering has genuine feedback, and the rear-wheel drive layout gives it a balance that front-wheel drive economy sedans cannot replicate. One thing to understand before you buy. The IS250 has a known issue with carbon buildup on the intake valves. Because it uses direct injection as part of its dual system, carbon accumulates over time in a way port-injected engines avoid. An intake valve cleaning runs $300 to $500 at an independent shop and should be considered around 80,000 to 100,000 miles if it has not been done. It is a maintenance item, not a failure. Also, check the rear differential fluid. Many previous owners skip this $80 service. Inspect the brake rotors carefully because IS250 owners who drove it as a sports sedan tend to run through rotors faster than average. And verify that the electronic throttle control software update has been applied, as some early models had throttle response hesitation that Lexus corrected with a reflash. Who should buy this? Anyone who wants a genuine luxury sports sedan with rear-wheel drive, Lexus reliability, and a price that should not legally be allowed for what you are getting. Anyone who has driven a BMW 3 Series and liked the dynamics, but does not want to spend $800 a year keeping one alive. And anyone who understands that the badge says Lexus, but the engineering says Toyota. And that combination is exactly why this vehicle makes everything else at this price look like a compromise. Who should avoid it? If you need cargo capacity or rear passenger room for tall adults, the IS is a snug car with a modest trunk. It is a driver's sedan, not a family hauler. And if fuel economy is a priority, the IS250 averages 18 to 24 miles per gallon, depending on how you use it. Number 1. The 2003 to 2008 Infiniti G35 Sedan. I saved this one for last, because when I explain what this car actually is and what it costs right now, it reframes everything else. In the under $5,000 sedan market, the G35 sedan is built on Nissan's FM platform, the same rear-wheel drive architecture that underpins the 350Z sports car. It was designed from the ground up as a driver's car by engineers who wanted to embarrass the BMW 3 Series at a lower price point. In documented comparison tests when it was new, it frequently did exactly that. Consumer Reports called it one of the best sports sedans available. Car and Driver praised its balance and powertrain refinement. The market has since forgotten it entirely, which is why you can buy one right now for $3,500 to $4,500 with reasonable miles. The engine is the VQ35DE, a 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6, producing 260 horsepower. If that engine sounds familiar, it should. The VQ35 appeared on Ward's 10 Best Engines list for 10 consecutive years. 10. It uses a timing chain, not a belt. It is naturally aspirated with no forced induction complexity, and it has been documented in Infiniti and Nissan applications reaching 250,000 to 300,000 miles on original internals, when the oil is changed consistently. RepairPal gives the G35 a reliability rating of 4 out of 5. Average annual repair costs run $478, below the luxury compact class average and dramatically below what you would spend keeping a BMW 3 Series or Mercedes C-Class from the same era alive. The 5-speed automatic paired with the VQ35DE has manual shift capability and is a smooth, proven unit that holds up well past 200,000 miles when the fluid is serviced on schedule. The rear-wheel drive layout gives the G35 a front-to-rear weight distribution that front-wheel drive sedans cannot achieve. And you feel it the moment you enter a corner. This car does not push or plow. It rotates cleanly. The rear steps out predictably if you ask it to, and the whole experience communicates what the engineers intended from day one. A sedan that makes driving feel like the point, and not just the method of getting somewhere. The interior held up better than most competitors from this era. The seats are supportive without being aggressive. The materials are above average for the price segment, and cabin noise at highway speeds is noticeably lower than mainstream sedans at this price point. Now here are the things to check before you hand over any money. First, the coolant bypass hose located underneath the intake manifold. Some call it the valley hose. It is labor-intensive to replace and tends to harden and crack with age. If the vehicle has over 100,000 miles and this hose has not been replaced, budget $400 to $600 at an independent shop. This is the single most important preventative maintenance item on this car. Second, check the valve covers for oil seepage. The VQ35 can weep oil from the valve cover gaskets at higher mileages. It is a $250 to $350 fix and not a structural concern, but worth knowing before you negotiate. Third, inspect the rear suspension bushings. The Sport Tune suspension puts more load on the rear bushings than a standard sedan, and worn bushings cause handling imprecision and tire wear. If the car wanders slightly at highway speed or the rear feels vague in corners, the bushings are the first place to look. Replacement runs $300 to $400 for all four at an independent shop. Fourth, check the brake rotors and look at the tire wear pattern across all four corners. Uneven wear tells you about alignment and how the previous owner drove it. Both are inexpensive to address, but worth factoring into your offer. Fifth, if the vehicle has the factory navigation system, test it. The unit is old technology and some have failed screens or unresponsive inputs. It does not affect the drivetrain, but a dead navigation screen is worth negotiating on. Who should buy this? Anyone who has ever wanted a genuine sports sedan and assumed they could not afford one. Anyone who watched reviews of the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes C-Class and wanted that driving experience without the European maintenance costs. And anyone who understands that Ward's 10 Best Engines list does not hand out a decade of recognition to engines that fall apart at 120,000 miles. This engine was built to run, and the platform around it was engineered to match. At $3,500 to $4,500, the market is handing it to you for almost nothing. Who should avoid it? Anyone without access to an independent mechanic familiar with Infiniti or Nissan, because dealer pricing is not where you want to be. Anyone who needs a practical family hauler with maximum rear seat room. The G35's back seat is comfortable for 2 adults but tight for 3. And anyone not prepared to stay current on fluid maintenance, because the VQ35 will run forever with consistent oil changes and punish neglect, just like every high-performance naturally aspirated engine does. So there they are. 3 forgotten sedans that made Toyota look cheap by actually out-engineering the competition and then depreciating into obscurity while buyers kept fighting over Camrys. The Honda Accord V6 with its truck-derived J-Series engine and $400 average annual repair cost. The Lexus is $250 with rear-wheel drive, dual injection, and Lexus build quality for the price of a used economy car. And the Infiniti G35 sedan, 10 consecutive years on Ward's best engines list. A rear-wheel drive platform borrowed from a sports car, and a used market price that makes no engineering sense whatsoever. You now know 3 sedans you can buy for under $5,000 that the market overlooked and your mechanic did not. The next time someone tells you that under $5,000 means settling, show them this list. If this kind of straight talk saves you money, hit subscribe. I have more videos coming on the vehicles that hold up versus the ones that just hold their resale value long enough for the dealer to profit. Like if it helped. Drive safe, take care of your car, and it will take care of you. See you in the next one.